Welcome back to the theater of the unscripted, the archive of hidden hearts, and the only place where we dissect the whispers that the rest of the world is too afraid to scream. Welcome to Anything You Want. If you have been wandering through the sterile corridors of mainstream news, searching for the raw, beating pulse of human emotion that lies beneath the celebrity veneer, you have finally found your home. Today, we are not discussing a mere rumor or a fleeting tabloid headline. We are standing at the edge of a precipice, looking down into the soul of a moment that has reportedly shaken the very foundations of the Turkish entertainment industry. We are talking about an ultimatum whispered behind closed doors, a daring confession of love, and a choice that could redefine 3 lives forever. We are talking about Yağmur Yüksel, Barış Baktaş, and the words that everyone is whispering. Before we descend into this emotional labyrinth, I must ask you to anchor yourself in our community. Please, press that subscribe button, ignite the notification bell so you never miss a beat of the drama, and if you truly wish to empower our independent, deep-dive journalism and walk this path of discovery with us, consider clicking the join button. Your membership is the bedrock of this channel, allowing us to craft these extensive, literary narratives just for you. Now, let us listen to the echo of a dangerous proposition. In the high-stakes world of celebrity culture, where every glance is analyzed and every silence is interpreted as a scream, there are moments that transcend mere gossip and become cultural seismic events. We are currently living through one such moment. The industry is ablaze with a singular, relentless whisper involving 2 of its brightest stars, Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Baktaş. The story, reshaped and retold 100 different ways in hushed tones on film sets and at exclusive dinner parties, centers around a bold, private confrontation. It is alleged that in a moment of profound vulnerability and daring, Yağmur Yüksel looked Barış Baktaş in the eyes and urged him to make a life-defining leap, to end his current engagement and marry her instead. Whether these exact words were spoken or not, the mere suggestion has been enough to send shockwaves through the scene. To understand the gravity of this alleged plea, we must first understand the context. Barış and Yağmur are not strangers orbiting each other in the distant cosmos of stardom. They are comfortable colleagues who have shared screens, scripts, and social circles for years. People close to the productions where their paths have crossed say the shift in their dynamic was gradual, insidious, and ultimately impossible to ignore. What began as easy, routine camaraderie. The kind of playful banter that oils the wheels of a long filming day, began to carry a different current. Crew members noticed it in the lingering electricity between takes, mutual friends felt it in the charged atmosphere of low-key dinners. They were 2 stars who suddenly seemed to glow a little brighter when they entered each other's orbit. Stir both excitement and suspicion. But behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of the public, gossip columnists insist that something far more potent than coy glances was brewing. According to whispers from those who claim to have first-hand knowledge, Yağmur Yüksel decided to cut through the fog of what-ifs. She didn't hint, she declared. She laid her feelings bare and drew a clear, uncompromising line in the sand. She wanted an answer. And because it is no secret that Barış Baktaş has been engaged for some time, this alleged plea lands with a weight that is almost suffocating. If true, it forces the question everyone is now too keyed up to stop asking, is a breakup around the corner? Insiders paint a picture of Barış reeling from the sheer force of this moment. He didn't slam the door on the possibility, but he didn't fling it wide open either. Confidants claim he described the situation as a heavy storm, admitting he wasn't sure which way the emotional winds were pushing him. Depending on who you believe, he is either battling a quiet, devastating emotional tornado within himself or simply determined to keep his private life barricaded from the kind of noise that can drown out an entire career. What is undeniable is that his measured, deliberate silence has set the stage for speculation to roar even louder than any statement could. Meanwhile, Yağmur's refusal to feed the frenzy is a statement in itself. There have been no tearful press conferences, no hurried denials issued through publicists, no clever Instagram captions designed to give the game away. Yet, Fans with long memories haven't forgotten a line she once shared during a candid interview years ago, that love rewards the brave, and she has never been one to lock her heart behind polite hesitation. Those words, pulled from archives and spliced into TikTok videos and Twitter threads, have been carried around like matches by the fanbase. Every time someone lights them, the conversation flares again, casting new light on the present situation. With neither side delivering a definitive truth, attention has turned to the forensic analysis of their interactions. People who track such things swear their communication has intensified lately. More texts. Longer calls. The kind of late-night check-ins that only happen when someone is becoming a habit you can't break. Private events have provided the safest spaces for this escalating connection, gatherings at friends' homes, industry mixers where they drifted into quiet corners, and whispered exchanges that get remembered by anyone who wasn't supposed to hear them. Did they sound like two friends leaning on each other for support? Or two people tasting the edge of something more dangerous? The question lingers, enticing and destructive. Of course, the shadow hanging over all of this is the fiancé. The whispers say she feels it, this shift, this relentless swirl of energy directed away from her, and that it is leaving marks. Watchers claim the engagement is straining under the sheer weight of what is being said, regardless of whether any of it is real. People close to the couple insist Barış is standing at a crossroads, desperately trying to protect the life he has built while also facing down a feeling that refuses to be bullied into silence. Depending on whom you ask, he is either calculating the risks to his image, his work, and his inner life, or he is just a man trying to keep a fiercely private matter from becoming a headline he never wanted. As for Yağmur, sources paint a picture of steely resolve. She's not storming the gates, but she isn't tiptoeing out of the spotlight either. One phrase allegedly shared quietly with her circle keeps resurfacing like a mantra: "Life is short, I choose the person who brings me joy." To some, it's a rallying cry, a clear, unblushing statement from someone who refuses to waste time on societal expectations. To others, it's a line drawn too bluntly, a statement that invites equal parts admiration for its boldness and criticism for its potential destructiveness. Either way, it has taken on a life of its own, traveling through social feeds and late-night DMs like an electric rumor that cannot be contained. And so, the focus returns to the decision everyone expects will decide everything. Will Barış anchor himself to the promise he made to his fiancée, or will he let that promise go to pursue a new possibility? Is there a world where a clean, compassionate exit is possible for anyone involved? Or are we watching a slow-motion collision where no one escapes without bruises? I must pause here and ask you, the empathetic and analytical viewers of Anything You Want, do you believe that true love justifies breaking a prior commitment? Is Yağmur brave for stating her feelings, or is she crossing a line? And what do you think Barış should do in this impossible situation? Please, share your nuanced thoughts in the comments below, for your insights are the compass that guides our storytelling. Right now, all we have is silence. Silence from him. Silence from her. It is a silence that only amplifies the hum in the background as the days stretch on. Work has not stopped, but it has changed. Cameras still roll, scripts still arrive, but those in the know whisper that after the first wave of rumors, both were careful. They started avoiding appearing in the same frames, slipping out of the same rooms at different times, choosing opposite corners at the same event. Maybe it's damage control. Maybe it's basic courtesy to the fiancé. Or maybe it's fuel, because every deliberate distance suggests a closeness that needs protection. The very act of staying out of sight together feeds the idea that there's something to hide. According to those who claim to have listened closely, Barış has grown weary of seeing his name carry a story he didn't choose to write. He's said to believe this kind of sensational attention is a tax on his craft, distracting from the work he wants the world to notice. There's talk he'll pull back for a while. Fewer appearances, fewer interviews, fewer chances to be ambushed by a question that feels more like a trap than curiosity. What that means for his engagement, however, no one can say for sure. The closest thing to consensus is that the relationship is undergoing a brutal stress test and that it might not come out unchanged. While that plays out, Yağmur stands her ground with a steady posture and calm eyes. Her words are chosen carefully and posted sparingly. To her friends, she reportedly stated something that reads like a personal manifesto: "I owe no explanations to anyone." Fans see that calm and call it confidence. Critics see it and call it calculation. But the interpretations don't seem to rattle her. The absence of a flat denial or definitive confirmation from either side has become the story's engine. With nothing solid to hold, everyone reaches for the nearest shape. A rumor dressed as a fact, a memory dressed as a warning, a wish dressed as a prediction. And then we circle back to the countdown clock people swear they can hear, waiting for the words from Barış that either reinforce the foundation he already built or light a spark no one can put out. And yet, the plot keeps adding pressure. Friends, those uniquely positioned in the blurry space where care and curiosity make alliances, have stepped in. Some, protective and cautious, are said to be telling Barış to breathe, to let the dust settle, to avoid a decision that might feel right this minute and wrong forever. Others insist that Yağmur's clarity isn't manipulative or rash, it's simply honesty, sharpened by time and courage. That clash of counsel has added a new weight to his shoulders and turned each day of quiet into an emotional event in itself. That is where we are. A story written in rumor and restraint, attention and avoidance, heat and hush. And as much as some beg for a clean conclusion, the truth is that stories like this rarely find tidy endings. They stumble, they pause, they flicker out, they catch again. Sometimes they collapse under their own spectacle, and sometimes, just sometimes, they rewrite the lives of the people at their center. Before we conclude this extensive analysis, I want to remind you of the power of your support. Producing content that respects the intelligence of the viewer and dives this deep requires resources. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the join button on our channel homepage. It is the most direct way to tell us that you want more of this high-quality storytelling. Also, do not forget to subscribe to Anything You Want for your daily dose of truth. What's certain is that both Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel are facing down an intensity many never experience, and they're doing it under a spotlight that brightens the moment it senses uncertainty. Maybe there was a daring confession behind a closed door. Maybe there were only looks that lingered too long. Maybe the words that are being repeated were never said at all. Or maybe they were the exact spark that turned a complicated season into a defining one. As we watch, the sets will keep moving, the meetings will keep happening, and the long nights will keep unfolding. They may continue to avoid sharing a frame, and that will be read as confirmation. They may be seen laughing in the same circle, and that will be read as proof. The fiancé's ring may stay on her finger and be called resilience, or it may come off and be called destiny. Every outcome has a ready-made headline waiting on the runway. For now, both of them are choosing not to write that headline themselves. And until they do, we will keep watching, and we will keep listening. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the most compelling unspoken story in the industry. What do you think will be the final outcome of this emotional standoff? Let us know your predictions in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share this video with fellow observers of the human heart. And a special thank you to our joined members, you are the heartbeat of this channel. Until next time, remember that sometimes the loudest stories are the ones happening in total silence. Stay tuned.